All right, so it seems we've been had. I kind of figured that Kagura was sly, but the fact that he had 3 of his 4 strongest Sazanami clan members on him not only had me shook, but Chihiro and Shiba were shook too. We also found out the truth about the Storehouse as well. There were quite a few interesting things that happened this chapter, so let's get down to the nitty gritty of the situation. As y'all know, it's your boy DomoSenpai, the Gachiakata enthusiast, the Kagurabachi enthusiast. We are almost back on track with the video, so thank you guys for remaining patient. Thank you for also keeping my family and I in your prayers as well. It's meant a lot over these last few weeks, and I truly mean that. If you are new to the channel and have yet to subscribe, man, do yourselves a favor and hit that subscribe button. We have a goal of 100K this year, and I will stop at nothing to attain that. Also, we've been having a blast over on my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/DomoSenpai playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. So if y'all want to check that out, the link is in the description. One thing that I did actually want to touch on before we got into the video is the thing that I think Kagurabachi is missing. I'm gonna turn this into its own video, but I genuinely think that the one thing that Kagurabachi is missing is a lack of diversity in designs. I feel like the characters themselves are pretty cool, but when it comes to like the fashion of Kagurabachi, it's too similar, right? It's too similar for me. I love suits, right? I love the idea of suits and things of that nature, but I feel like there is a severe lack in fashion diversity. Maybe that's just me because I read Gachiakata, and if you read Gachiakata, you can look and see how drippy a lot of the characters are and how varied the designs are and how unmute the world is. And again, it's just a nitpick that I have. I don't want it to be too important of a point, but let's continue. Now, before we actually start the review, hold on. Before we actually start the review, can we admire this color page? These types of color pages always make my day. Simple, yet effective. And to have Chihiro front and center accompanied by his fishes? Just a chef's kiss. But anyways, I brought it up in the last chapter. Hell, it was even the title of the video. We were set up. Kagura Sazanami pulled one over on us, and to be honest, we should have saw it coming from a mile away. He was way too smooth with the stalling, and even in stalling, he still let us in on a few key details about the Storehouse. Come to find out, the Storehouse isn't even really a storehouse. Like, it's not a place, or it's not a physical place, I should say. It's a subspace created by sorcery, similar to that of the demi-plane in Tsukimichi Moonlit Fantasy. It's one of my favorite anime, by the way. And it's no wonder nobody really knows the location, because it can be brought out at any place or at any time by only the direct descendants of the Sazanami clan. So, you know, it's one of the things that gets passed down from like one holder to the other, but you have to be like a direct descendant, which is kind of weird, but that's neither here nor there. One of the things that I really wanted to point out about this was the fact that Kagura already knew who Chihiro was. Kind of strange, right? Not only did he know his name, he also knew about the blade, which, if you've watched any of my videos, you would know that I've been saying that there is a snitch on the Kamunabi side, and Shiba was even questioning it. Which only leads to my point that someone on the board did not f with Kunishige or the blades he made, which Kagura so eloquently states. Now that we got all of that cleared up, let's actually talk about how sly Kagura is. My initial thought was that, we are finally gonna get to see the potential of what a strong sorcerer can do in battle. And that couldn't have been any further from the truth. Until we meet the toe later on. Kagura explained to us that if he dies, then everything in that subspace also ceases to exist, which includes the mother and her child, which reminded me of Char and her mom. The weird part is, like, how was he so aware of Chihiro's morals? Is the snitch a lot closer than we think? Shiba even points that out. He's like, he knows us. He knows that Chihiro won't gamble with other human lives. Once all that gets cleared up and we don't engage, that's when Kagura sicks the dogs on us. And by the dogs, I mean the toe, whom are the Sazanami Special Defense Corps. It consists of the top 4 fighters of their clan, which makes you wonder, where is the 4th? And don't worry, I also have a little theory about him based on how Kagura reacted. Now we are presented with a battle that is going to prove to be difficult, not because it's a 3v2, but because now we are fighting with the thought of Hakuri potentially being in harm's way. And for anyone who reads manga, you know that when somebody is in trouble, that tends to be the bane of our existence. But with knowing that the other brother is out there searching for Hakuri, and interestingly enough, that pissed off Kagura, right? He ain't show it physically, but you heard you heard that, like he was mad. But we end up dipping back to seeing Hakuri running an errand for Hinao. And you guessed it, the older brother Soya ends up finding him. Now, Soya doesn't seem too menacing, but y'all know what they say, that the kindest one ends up usually being the most vile. But let's backtrack real quick. Why would he now send Hakuri out to run errands knowing who he is? Kinda strange, don't you think? Not to mention, Soya was on his way to where Hakuri was coming from. Don't want to assume too much, but let's be honest here, it smells a bit fishy if you ask me. And that's how chapter 23 ended. Our heroes on each side are in big trouble, and depending on how Soya confronts Hakuri, this could go from being bad to horrible in a matter of panels. Anyways, let me know what you guys thought about this chapter down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new. Really liking putting these videos together by writing scripts more and more each day. It helps streamline my thoughts and really nail all the points that I try to make. If you guys want to interact with me more, consider stopping over and following my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/DomoSenpai TV. Like I mentioned above, we've been having a blast playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and if you didn't know, FF7 OG is my favorite game of all time. Also, consider becoming a member of the channel. It helps me actually pay bills and things of the like, so the more of you guys who support, the more we will be able to do in the future. Thank you guys for continuing to watch, and as always, it's your boy, DomoSenpai, and I will catch you guys in the next video.